Jean Bidel Bokassa has gone down in history as one of Africa's most brutal rulers. This man became a symbol of despotism, madness, and inhumanity. His reign, which lasted 15 years, was remembered not only for mass repression and luxurious feasts, but also for horrifying rumors of cannibalism, which, unfortunately, the hard weighted high. Jean Bidel Bokassa was born in 1921 in the poor village of the French colony of Ubangui, later to become the Central African Republic. His father, the village chief, was executed as a rebel, and his mother committed suicide shortly after the tragedy. An orphan found at his grandfather's house, Bokassa received a Catholic upbringing and ambition. But despite this, he grew up violent and ambitious. After his studies, he enlisted in the colonial forces and participated in World War II. Rising through the ranks, Bokassa in 1958 already held French citizenship and the rank of lieutenant. In 1960, when the Central African Republic gained independence, Bokassa returned to his homeland and decided to enter politics. Kinship ties with the country's president, David Diako, helped him gain, but his ambitions went much further. On New Year's Eve, from 1965 to 1966, Bokassa staged a coup d'état, overthrowing his own uncle. He proclaimed himself president and soon changed the constitution to become the country's sole leader. In 1972, he declared himself president for life, a feast of humans. The darkest aspect of Bokassa's reign is his predilection for cannibalism. According to accounts, he is considered a delicacy of human meat. Moreover, cannibalism for Bokassa was not just a gastronomic habit, but something of a ritual. When he was a young sergeant fighting in the French army in Vietnam, an incident occurred that later explained his taste preferences. Bokassa got lost in the jungle with a Vietnamese prisoner. A French platoon found him as he was roasting human meat over a fire. As it turned out, Bokassa ate the captive's heart and cookies, claiming it gave him courage as claw. Attempts to discover the reason for Bokassa's obsession. Legal cannibalism became his habit. At the coronation feast in 1977, several strict confinements were reportedly recorded. They were lavishly fed and paraded before their final hour. Their meat was used to prepare the festive dishes. These rumors were confirmed by Bokassa's personal cook, who claimed that the dictator always carried a suitcase of canned human meat, which was called sugar pork. Witnesses to the incident testified that the emperor kept whole frozen body parts on his desk, which were used for a special dish. Bokassa's chef, a skilled cook, developed methods of preserving the freshness of the meat so that it would remain edible for a long time. Bokassa's coronation. Bokassa's coronation cost $20 million, a quarter of the country's annual budget. The event was organized on a scale not inferior to Napoleon's coronation. Tons of delicacies were purchased, among which could be dishes from the most expensive products in the world, some of the country's most scenic places. But Bokassa was the only dinner that coronation guests could afford. Guests were invited to decorate and the tables were bursting with exquisite treats. French journalists later claimed that not everyone invited knew exactly what was being served. Some dishes had a strange flavor that could give away human meat. Collections. Bokassa had 19 women and over 55 children. He chose his wives all over the world, often on coordinated trips. His love for his children, however, was highly conditional. Lucien, one of Bokassa's supervisors, recalled, "Father did not know us by sight, so we presented gold values with his portrait." Everything changed for the children, including the overtly violent behavior. One of the tutors shot a servant, for which Bokassa's son was punished, a week without sweets. Children often staged violent fights. Because of them suffered primarily the footmen of Bokassa's palace, all and rehabilitation. In 1979, Bokassa was deposed in a coup. He was abroad and chose not to show any signs of the charges against him. He was later sentenced to death, but the consequences were later commuted. After an amnesty in 1993, Bokassa lived as an ordinary citizen and was posthumously rehabilitated in 2010. The president of the Central African Republic called him a great humanitarian and a son of his country. Summary: Jean Bidel Bokassa has left a dark mark on African history. His despotism, cannibalism, and luxury amidst poverty became a symbol of how power can turn a man into a submissive slave without basic human rights. If the video was interesting, please like this video. Write in the comments what you think about it. Subscribe to the channel to not miss new, interesting, and informative videos. Thank you for watching. Now back to the show. Eddie.